The members hold a meeting for a new director and I don't know how to explain it, but this segment so far felt so gross, just so icky. Hey guys, welcome back to your weekly Project 7 recap. Before we start, here are the current top 23. Hasn't really changed much since last week. Anyways, let's get into episode 3. After a quick recap of episode 2, we start the video evaluations. I won't be going over every little comment they make, but I want to say how cartoony the mentors' reactions are like. It's kinda annoying. I cannot take you seriously when you're throwing out one-liners and snarling like. P1 is criticized and labeled as a disappointment. P2 is critiqued for their lack of centralized training. P5 is praised for how well the foreign trainees did with their lyrics. Most of P3 doesn't even dance or sing, and P4 does really well. After the video evaluation, the boys go into a theater for the results. P2 had 4 people with the lowest possible scores. Out of the C trainees, Sviet received the highest score with 18 points. The combined scores for the C ranks are as follows: P1, 0 no C trainees, P2, 65 9 C trainees, P3 23 to C trainees, P4, 65 C trainees, P5, 30 to 3 C trainees. For the B trainees, AJANUGU received the highest score, also of 18 points. With the points combined of the B points added to the previous ones, P1, 43 points, P2, 139 points, P3, 159 points, P4, 134 points, P5, 84 points. For the A trainees, a lot of the P1 members scored extremely low while P4 ranked relatively high. The current combined scores are now P1, 133 points, P2, 190 points, P3, 176 points, P4, 199 points, P5, 187 points. The final scores with S included are P1, 208, P2, 198, P3, 190, P4, 230, P5, 223. These scores are not the final rankings. There will be an extra assessment before the final ranking. The next assessment is a team one, where they can alter the performance to fill in gaps and make it whole. We cut to the training room, where Junseo from P1 breaks down crying due to his performance. He feels guilty for how he led the team, despite scoring a 17, which I think is a sign of a good leader, but it's not healthy how much it's impacted him. Jeon Minwook also feels guilty, being one of the lowest scoring trainees in the entire evaluation with 4 points. The team comforts Junseo and they begin practice. However, there's trouble during practice as well. Junseo tried his hardest, being methodical and exact with positions, while Jeon Minwook thinks they should just move on. Ultimately, the team just isn't doing good at all. They're disagreeing on a lot of things, and even on the day of the assessment they haven't decided what to do. Normally during situations like these it's kind of easy to tell if there's heavy editing, but if I'm being honest, this all seems like what actually happened. I think it's gonna be super interesting how evil editing will work once it is incorporated, because so far all of the disagreements are understandable and I wonder how the fans and general public will react. Minwook especially seems to disagree with a couple of the members like Minseo and Junseo, but again it's understandable and seems like a genuine disagreement. I understand Minwook's points of simplifying the performance, but it also seems the team as a collective want to have a more complicated one, so it's a difficult circumstance. Something new about these arguments that are a bit different from Mnet shows is that there are very little cuts during an argument. They don't cut to members' reaction or confessionals or genuinely anything. This in no way means they aren't edited, especially evil editing, so always take anything depicted with a huge grain of salt, but it's important to at least recognize that these disagreements may hold a little more weight than a typical survival show. P2 also holds some disappointment with the training strategy utilized for the video evaluation. Hito, however, stays as the leader. For P2, Jungwoo is depicted as the extra cook trying to input his opinions for the choreo. I will say, however, the performance was created by like 5 people from what is shown again might not be accurate. And it seems they are struggling to even teach what they got down, so I personally don't see what's wrong with Jungwoo sharing his own visions. The members hold a meeting for a new director and I don't know how to explain it, but this segment so far felt so gross, just so icky. I know I just said there's minimal editing, and I still think that's true, but I'm picking up on very strategic sound effects. cuts and vibe that, if I'm being honest, not only makes one person look bad but multiple people look bad and unworkable. But you know what, maybe this is really what no evil editing gets us, because it's true in real life. During arguments both sides can look unappealing or hard to work with. For this segment it feels like they're dog-pilling on Jungwoo for silly reasons, but at the same time Jungwoo is continuously adding in segments. Again, the best way I can describe it is it feels so gross it feels icky, but I also kind of like it because yeah, this is how I imagine teenage boys would act in these situations. Both sides bantering, both sides sounding equally stupid but at the same time understanding their stance of opinion. Hito then says Jungwoo should just be leader if he continues acting like that, which hurts Jungwoo a lot. I'm going to take a similar stance as I did with Jiyoon after it was confirmed her actions did in fact hurt Junggun. I think it's entirely fair to critique Hito and Sean for their words. In my opinion they seemed petty and yes rude, but I'm not going to base them as a person on this moment during an extremely stress-inducing and potentially manipulated situation. This is not who they are because we never will know who they are really. Despite ranking last, P3's morale is actually really good. They're able to work together and get a general performance ready. Similarly, but for the opposite reasons, P4, who ranked first, is in great spirits, deciding to demonstrate skills such as Taeyong's kick during their performance. They begin distributing parts and choose Kenshin as the ending fairy. Kenshin then gets quite a big focus for his cuteness and overall demeanor. I think the show finally remembered that they should maybe promote the center of the Signal song by now, but I don't mind cause Kenshin's fun, I like him. P5 is in similar good moods and we get a segment with Fiat and Ma Jingxiang who helped him learn the Signal song. Now this is going to be around the time JTBC will begin to narrow down who they want in the top slots. So far I definitely have my baits on Ma Jingxiang and Kenshin since they got the most obvious angel editing. But they may also be trying to push Jungwoo and Minwook since they were both pilled on by their members. However, Chen is criticized for not practicing with the team, and is even faulted as the reason they weren't scored higher. Yi Chen is depicted as overbearing and constantly changing plans. He states he wants to wait until formations are done to distribute parts, but the same night he and a couple other members distribute them. I think it's also starting to become clear who JTBC doesn't want in their group. This whole interaction reminds me so much of the Taeyong and Daeyoon incident in Girls' Planet. While Yi Chen has risen in ranks, I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up dropping by a lot in the next episode. The members call him out and it seems Yi Chen understands. Again, I think it's fair to call him out, but I hope this doesn't start a hate train towards him. After some filler we finally get to the team assessment. P1 is the first to go and it was genuinely really good, and the mentors think so as well. P3 is second and they did really well when it comes to the stage itself. However, they struggled with vocals and live singing. Seoki is called out for this. However, Seoki had lost his voice prior to the evaluation. He ends up having a breakdown due to the guilt, which made me really sad. Luckily the team is praised and we move on to P2, who I think has had my favorite formation so far. They are complimented for the most part, but Hito is critiqued for getting offbeat towards the end of the performance. Next is P5, who I thought did okay. Love Jingxiang as center, but the team is critiqued for the details and quality of the performance. Last is P4. I thought they did good and the mentors really liked it. Here are the final rankings. First, P4, second, P1, third, P5, fourth, P3, fifth, P2. Since P4 ranked first, they'll be at the top of the stage and one member can be chosen as center. P2 will not stand on the stage at all. Through votes of the trainees and the mentors, Kenshin is chosen as the center. After the title song is recorded, we get introduced to the third mission. It's revealed that 70 trainees will pass on to the next round, 30 will be eliminated. This is actually a lot more than I expected. We are then revealed the third mission is a position match. There is a dance, vocal and rap position. Each position has their own roles. For example, vocal will participate with the arrangement, rap with lyrics, dance with choreography. The songs for vocal are Love Me or Leave Me by Day 6, Don't Go by EXO, We Must Love by ONF and Love Wins All by You. The songs for dance are Kiwi by Harry Styles, Closer by the Chainsmokers, Pop by NSYNC and 3D by Jungkook. Lastly, the songs for rap are Shalala by Taeyong, Crayon by G-Dragon, Work by ATEEZ, MOMMAE by J-Park. The trainees will perform for a live audience whole vote twice. Once for the best team in each position and the second for MVP. The boys move to their desired songs and then go through the process of moving some to other songs that are underpopulated. There are a lot of teams with a lot of people, so I will not be going over every single team. If you want to know who's in which, check the comments and I'll have them posted. We start the training montages where Team Don't Go chooses and Jungwon as their leader, Young Hyun as main vocal. They quickly are able to distribute their parts and begin practicing. Young Seo is the leader for Love Wins All, and they begin to slightly panic seeing Don't Go already practicing. Overall, the team is moving slow and can't decide how to split the parts or arrange the song. There's a little drama with Tenyu main vocal not getting a certain part, but there's still an hour and a half left, so we're gonna have to lock in and speed run some of this. Young Hoon is chosen as leader for We Must Love. Sehun is leader for Love Me or Leave Me. Small drama in We Must Love. Hyojin calms it down. He has history with Hoon. Awesome. Next team. Next is Team Pop. They're all shy. Call themselves Shy Pop. They start practice and it goes smoothly. Team Kiwi probably has the lowest dance skills. Junwoo is main dancer. Hajun is leader. Team struggles a lot during practice. Hyunwoo steps up to help. Team Closer chooses Wang Seok as leader. Team is divided during practice. One where Minseo leads, other where Seok Dios. This is not good. Drama happens. 3D team chooses Jun Seo as leader. He's a good leader, but it's hard because the team has a lot of foreigners. Morale is down. For teamwork, Minwook is chosen as leader. Team Crayon chooses Hito. They have a little bit of tension. Team Shalala has the least skilled rappers. Team MOMMAE chooses Yichen as main rapper and Hyun Jae as leader. They have a minor in the team, which is not good cause MOMMAE is MOMMAE. We're finally at the actual stages. In total there are 12 whole stages we have to go through, so I'm sad to say there will be no cute transitions. The winning teams will reward each member 20,000 points, while the MVP will get 100,000 points. The first positions is rap. The first team to go up is Team Crayon. Gunwoo was chosen as the center. During the montage the team chooses I Am the Best concept and kinda write a diss track, except it like isn't. During interim checks Hito struggles a lot with his rap, and overall the team gets genuinely torn apart during critiques. It's a struggle bus during practice as well. Gunwoo has an uneasy relationship with Hito. He eventually confronts him and the others, but nothing comes out of it. During another progress check Gunwoo is praised for his presence and lyrics. The mentors then reveal the members will then vote for a center. Gunwoo becomes the center. Overall I thought the performance was great. If I had to choose I'd say I loved Hito's performance the most. It was a nice surprise and I think he was really in his element. Team MOMMAE follows. During the process check their critique for the concept, saying they lack in the sexy concept. They decide to make Seyun incorporate a more cute concept to fit his age. After the change the team has a more clear path and they get praised, especially Seyun. I thought the final performance was great despite some off-pitch moments, but I felt like there was something missing. I do agree, I think Seyun did great, but Chen Hyunjae stood out the most to me. Next is Shalala. The progress check went badly, with Ryoma being critiqued for rapping in Japanese. Seonho is critiqued for his confidence and the overall team just lacks general skill. The morale completely drops, with many of the members crying and feeling defeated. During rehearsals however they do a complete 180 and perform really well. During practice the team got help from Sehun and Hyunwoo which really perfected their rap. Overall the performance was good. I definitely think Seungho shown the most. He was great and I loved every part of it. The last team is work, where Ryong struggled the most during practice. Jangmin takes initiative in training Ryong in what he lacks, but it isn't sticking for him and he is also struggling with lyrics. Jangmin talks to Juyong, who later confirms he felt insecure due to his skills. Luckily they're able to push through. The final performance came out really great. I can't even choose one MVP because so many of them did amazing. And with that the episode ends. I have to be honest, this episode was way too long for no reason. While I like that the screen time is really well distributed, I don't like how they're shoving so many challenges down at once. Episode 1 and 2 had no reason to be released simultaneously. This episode should have been split into 2, with the Signal Song mission being extended to 2 hours if they really wanted. This is a similar problem I had with iland, and with later episodes of the Planet seasons. The episodes are split and combined in a way that makes no sense and kills the hype, only now it's 3 hours long. I also have a love-hate relationship with the editing. It's so unsettling, but I do think it's some of the most seamless narration editing I've witnessed, which is low-key scaring me. Overall I still recommend it. If you like when popular trainees don't get crazily favored with screen time, I 100% recommend you watch this. Comment down your own thoughts and I'll see you next week.